Hello, everybody. Welcome to Over a Couple Drinks presents The Regulars. Yeah, that's us. I don't ever remember this thing. We're talking about Game of Thrones tonight. With me is the Mother of Dragons. Again, Jess Riley. Say hi, Jess Riley.
Hi, Jess Riley.
I hate you, but I love you at the same time. We're talking tonight... Oh, God, I got to turn the music. About the last two episodes, Episode 7, The Gift, and Episode 8, what was it called? Hardhome?
Hardhome.
Yeah.
Hardhome?
Yeah. First, a little behind-the-scenes stuff. We had to change font because my recording system lost the old font. Deal with it, and we're now streaming in hopefully higher quality because of me dumb.
Oh.
Yeah. I was recording Alien Isolation and realized that my videos looked like shite. So, we changed the bitrate, and we should be great.
Yay!
Tell us what you think, all two viewers, one of them being me.
Hey, I'm trying. I'm subtly trying.
You just need to like, comment, subscribe, everybody. Tell us what we do, because you know what? We have fun bringing you these things. It's just a way of us friends getting together, because we're spread out all across the United States.
Basically what we would be doing anyways in our apartment in college.
Fucking cat. I give you back scratches, cat, and you bite me. That's
this is true love.
This is true love. Okay, so let's dive into episode 7, The Gift. We're not going to recap it because, damn it, people, you should have watched it. So, just overall, what did you think of The Gift?
I think that there were definitely some things in The Gift that I really was like they left us with that cliffhanger and whatnot, and then you go through and find out, like, what I really liked is, like, they set all this up, like, Sansa has friends in the North, Sansa has friends in the North remembers and whatnot, and Theon fucks her over again. It's
well,
like...
Which is to be expected, because Theon is kind of broken still.
But you'd think that with what they built it, like, the way they ended the last episode, they were setting it up for Theon to break.
Yeah.
And so you would expect him to then break, and he doesn't. And then you have this, like, super grotesque scene, and, like, Sansa's like, meh. And what else happened? This is when the...
I have to put one of my points since we went over it. I labeled it as the Alien 3 moment because there is this great meme of when Ramsay kisses Sansa, like after she sees the grotesque, flayed old lady, and it's like really creepy because like Sansa's like 8 feet tall and he's really short. And he's just kind of reach up there, and she has this total look of grotesque. And someone posted the picture from Alien 3 when the alien comes right up to Ripley, and it looks exactly the same. And that's the first thing that popped in my head, and I'm glad that other people catch on to that stuff.
That's awesome.
So that was one of my high points. So okay, go on.
What else happened? Tyrion. This is when Jorah and Tyrion went to the fighting pits. Yes.
Yeah, and I wrote something and then deleted it because it was brought up in the next episode. But I did have to say that the fighting pits almost made me turn off the show because I thought this was the Colosseum. Like, when they said, this is the fighting pits, I was like, oh, sweet, we're going to see the Colosseum. And we get that, and I went, oh, fuck, no, you did not just ruin that.
Yeah.
But then, like, in the next episode, they talk about the big fights, and, like, I saw some promo video of it, and I was like, okay, so it got deleted, but... Still, that was...
But it just got repurposed. It's moving somewhere else.
Yeah. I don't know what you're...
Sorry. Michael's screaming at the TV. It's great.
It's great. It's great.
He's yelling at the Raptors. So that happened. And again, the whole, like, here, I got you this midget, love me, kind of thing happened. And I was just... that whole thing just totally backfired on him. Poor Jorah, he tried so hard. He tried so hard. He's like, I'm gonna kick some ass.
And he does. And he does.
And he's like, oh, by the way, I got you this present. Cliffhanger. And Dany's like, meow. What? Who are you? Meow?
Jonesy was right. Meow.
Right, meow.
Uh,
What else happened?
I wrote, I still don't care about Dorne even with Sand Snake boobies. I
This
don't,
is true.
I don't care. This isn't interesting. Like,
Well, they made this weird because, in our last episode, you're like, did we see the end of Bronn?
yeah, and then it
Like,
becomes to be nothing.
and then it turns out, but I think this is a seed to like manipulate him
Oh yeah,
and turn him
into the
like
Sand Snake
for
weapon.
turn him into Ario, like meld two characters
Oh,
together.
yeah, okay.
I think that might be where they're going with this. And so I found it really interesting. And it also, like,
Have
she
you?
seduced him, she elevated his heart rate, she made it so that the poison would work quicker.
Yeah,
So I could see why it happened, but I was just kind of like,
I, I
still
mean,
don't care.
the internet exploded saying, everyone be like, she single-handedly saved season 5, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really care. I
I
really
don't
don't.
think that happened. No.
No, everyone was excited to see boobies. Okay, we're all
I mean,
childs here.
they were some nice boobies.
Don't get me wrong, they were great boobies, but I'm just saying, don't care.
I would say that pretty great.
Um,
Um, Jon Snow,
what happened with John?
he made the decision that he wanted to go recruit the wildlings,
Yep.
and what's his name?
Torrens Giantsbane.
Torrin Giantsbane
Is that it?
was like,
Giantsbane.
was it?
It's
Oh, yeah,
Giantsbane. It's
it's
Giantsbane. I don't remember.
Giantsbane.
I don't remember his name.
Tormund.
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 Said, I'm only gonna go get them if you come with me, and everybody's like, eh. And so Jon Snow goes with them, and then everybody. That's when the all the guys try and like back Gilly into a corner,
Oh, is
and
that this episode? I didn't know
that's
it
in
was
this
this episode. Okay,
episode.
yeah.
That's in this episode, and then Ghost saves the day.
Woo, Ghost.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like Samuel tried. Sam tried.
Sam
He
tried.
tried so hard.
But he's just not
And
a
he
fighter.
got up after he got beaten the shit out of. He tried so hard.
You got to give the man
But
props.
Ghost saved the day.
Yeah. Um, I like that. It's weird how so many stories are up to the point or past the point of the books, and yet the wall is still like half a book behind.
Eamon died. Eamon died.
Aemon died at the wall. I don't know if that was this episode or next. It doesn't matter. Aemon died at the wall. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever. Moving on. The main, I guess, course of events was with the High Sparrow this episode, and I really enjoyed the Queen of Thorns and High Sparrow interaction. I thought that was nice. How like they like she expected him to be like everybody else, and he was like no. And they even had that little bonding moment where they're like, "What's it with you? The hips, the knees, blah blah." And you kind of get
Right.
this idea that she didn't really know what she was dealing with, and how she kind of probably led the seeds to Cersei's destruction.
Right. And it really emphasizes the High Sparrow's power.
Yes, and I like that because he's very humbling power.
Right.
I did write some other things about how the lack of stuff from book 4 is pissing me off. And we here on the show hate book 4. But
Everybody hates book 4.
the more I think about it, there is very good and pertinent information in there that just told in a poor way, and they're just completely ignoring it, kind of thing. Like the lack of a Cersei power arc, where like in the book you finally get Cersei's point of view. She has this really really weird lesbian love thing where she like in her inner monologue
Yeah.
she thinks she should be the boy that her father always should have had, and that she should have been king, and all these great moments that adds to her character that aren't here. And the reason why I liked it is because you can see her try to take control and fail miserably at it, even though she's the one of all the characters we've met should be good at leading the country, isn't.
Right.
And like you see her go a little mad with power with kicking everybody off the small council, which we saw. We didn't see her burn down the Red Keep. We didn't see her have these moments where she's like,
I mean, they
I'm
haven't
in
seen.
charge.
Yeah, where she's kind of like falling apart, and where she's like it's really interesting the way that they're portraying Cersei in the series at this point.
But
And they didn't build her up to be a crazy, like batshit crazy bitch,
Yeah,
before they had her fall. Like the fall was not as far.
yeah. We didn't see behind the curtain so far, and like
Right.
especially for this show, who has made Cersei a very interesting character, even so in the books by expanding piece by piece by piece. I was expecting this when they got to this season that they would just blow the doors off and be like, yeah, this is the inner workings of Cersei, and we didn't get it. Which also led me to realize, part of the parts of what's it, the Knight of Flowers. What's his name?
Loris?
Loris. Someone brought this up to me. It was like, if Loris from the books was in the situation that the Loris in the show was, there'd be a body. There'd be a pile of dead, bodies with peoples with 7-pointed stars cut in there for it.
Absolutely.
I'm like, why wasn't this here? I like the idea of using Loris as a pawn in the situation, but you don't cut the guy's balls off just because he's gay,
Right.
not, yeah, I'm saying that his portrayal in the show is kind of a big disappointment. He's supposed to be a badass on the level of Jaime with two hands,
Right.
and he gets taken out by a couple of guys with clubs when he's in full plate mail and has swords next to him.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like you. You could have done that, but you could have shown him kill a couple of guys to show that he was a major threat.
Right.
Um,
My favorite part, can we get to the favorite part?
yeah.
My
Go ahead.
favorite part is the end of the episode.
It's a great.
Do you have
great.
anything that you want to talk about before the end of the episode?
Brienne still sucks. She's not
She's
doing.
like,
She's not doing anything. She's spinning
hey,
wheels.
what's going on over here?
That's my
Like,
other part.
that's it.
My other
That
part.
was
Go,
that was the scene.
no, my point was also going on with the whole things cut from book 4 is, though in book 4 she's on a pointless quest, her quest isn't the important part of the story. The important part of the story is showing how there's civil unrest in the countries, and
Right.
how the Brotherhood with banners are still there, and we're not getting any of that because they cut all that out. And you get a double-sided thing because Jaime also gets it from more of a family standpoint about how much damage two families have caused on the countries and how bad it is. And Brienne gets this idea that the citizens, the people, the little people are sick and tired of it, and that the Brotherhood of
Right.
Banner. So that being all cut out is kind of like neutering the story for me.
It
And
really is.
and like her going to Winterfell is eventually going to lead to a badass fight scene, but
But is it
I don't know. So, getting to the best part of the whole episode,
the best part?
the part they
Okay.
didn't fuck up, because again, I will say, High Sparrow, fucking spot on. He's so good.
Spot on. I literally screamed when this happened. Like, they set it up beautifully. Like this is a beautiful part of the episode where Cersei goes in and she's like trying to be all like holier than thou, like trying to bring Marjorie something to eat, some soup. She's like, "Oh, I just ate this last night," and being a total catty bitch. And Marjorie like throws it at her, and it's awesome. And she's like, "I don't want help from you. Go fuck off. Don't ever come here again." And then next thing you know, like she's walking down the hallway, and it's like, "Oh my God, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it." And this is like the last episode that I watched before I made the move. And I was like, "They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it." And I'm watching it with my father, who has not read the books. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, and then all of a sudden she walks into the room with a high sparrow, and I am screaming at this point because I'm so excited that we have gotten to the point that Cersei gets her ass thrown in jail. Like, oh my God, it was so perfectly set up.
And again, it's that idea that everybody's underestimating the High Sparrow, and it's that slow turn when Cersei realizes she's just the mouse, and High
Jeez,
Sparrow is a really big fucking cat.
well, and the thing is that it's not even just the high sparrow. It's the manipulation that is happening behind the scenes between Peter Baelish and the Queen of Thorns.
Yep.
And like he's like, "I can give you what you want." And
But
by taking down the Lannisters, like that will take down the Lannisters. Because are they going to keep Tommen, and this goes beyond the books, but are they going to keep Tommen on the throne? Is there going to be a rebellion? Like, if this whole comes to light and she has to confess in order to get back to her son, will she confess to get back to her son and then lose the throne? What's going to happen next? We don't really know. And it's what's going to happen with when that falls, because the thing is like in the books, like basically Flea Bottom and the Red Keep all like fall to pieces when it's just Tommen.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is happening and it's happening, and you're like, cool, cool, cool. But I also want to know where they're going because they're so far off book. So I feel like I'm I'm a non-book reader watching the show for the first time. Like other times it's like you threw me a curveball, but I know what's going to happen. But
Yeah.
now I don't.
I just I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if what's her uncle's name, Kevin, right? I
Yes.
don't know what Kevin's fate's gonna be since they removed the player that in the books that happens, and
You're right.
I'm really intrigued with what happens, and I this is again why I don't like that it's off book because is it gonna skew how I read the book?
Unpredictable. Yeah.
But either way, High Sparrow, fucking beautiful high point. Like
Yeah.
he
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful part of the
he's
episode.
he has been a strong part throughout this whole season, and thank God for him. Now, let's get to episode 8, where awesome happens.
So much awesome.
Yeah. So my point list was Tyrion and Daenerys. Oh, again, Tyrion plus anybody makes those scenes great. Tyrion and like I guess it'd be the second trial of Jorah kind of thing.
Right.
You could just see Tyrion's face when he was like, "Oh God, she's a fucking idiot too," where she's like, "I should kill him," and he's like, "Oh God damn it, no," you know, and
I had such high hopes.
he's like, "You're gonna be a lot of work," and now I know why they needed me, and it's this great moment, and you can see her. I couldn't see. I don't remember her name, but the actress who plays Daenerys didn't show a really good job of
Amelia.
showing like her changing gears and trusting Tyrion. It was
Right.
very stonewalled, which you could say is a good choice for what she's been through. But at the same time, I would like to see like a twitch or a tick that says, "Yeah, maybe I should pay attention to
But
the
then they
ugly
have
little
that
guy."
nice little scene later.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I'll get to that because I think I bring it back up. Maybe no, I don't. But it doesn't matter. That next scene we'll talk about it now. Great, it's a great scene. Again, Tyrion with anybody talking.
Right.
Thank you, Peter Dinklage. Thank you,
Peter Dinklage.
Peter
Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage.
Um, and you get a little bit more internal affairs, and like a lot of the people were dissecting that whole second conversation with them about like, ooh, what does this mean? What does this mean?
Right.
And some people are
But
thinking that
it's what we've been saying on the regulars, and then they said it in the episode. Like,
hmm
why is she leaving for Westeros when she has everything that she could want here?
because she wants it, and Tyrion's like, you don't really want
He's like,
Westeros.
you
It's a
don't really
fucking
want
mess.
that.
It's
You're
a
gonna show up and be like, what is this? Like you're hearing these stories from these lies of your whatever.
it
There's
was
just
it was also weird for her not to like try to kill him when he brings up that Varys brought him there, and the whole reason she doesn't like Jorah is because he was talking to Varys, but then she finds out that Varys is actually being a good guy and is really fucked up. My second point was thank God for Arya.
thank God for Arya.
I,
They changed that. I feel like her name was Cat of the Canals in the books
it was
when she was selling the oysters,
it was.
but I really like. I mean, I like the way that it's going. I like that they're setting up the same way. They changed the name, but
What did
she's
they
got
change
the
it to? Did they
same.
change it to anything?
It's a different name.
Okay, but
It's just a different name. I can't
I didn't.
remember.
I was just so happy going. It's like from the books. The one thing I loved in all of book 4 and 5 was Arya's plotline, and I'm glad they're following
Right.
it to almost a T. And thank you.
But we've got 2 more episodes, so how far are they going to go with it? Because this is supposed to be the second half of book 2 or book 4, right?
I don't know where they are anymore because everyone's all
Well,
over the goddamn place.
theoretically, second half of book 4.
For
They're not
that,
going to get through. They're not going to get through Arya's storyline, and that they're just going to get to the end of the Cat in the Canals storyline, which then leaves an unfulfilling part for her in particular. However, I'm excited to see it happen.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too
because
because they can. That's like though they're only at the end of book 4, they can expand more in the next season with her because she's not connected to anything else. It's not like pushing Tyrion's trip through Essos all over the goddamn place.
but she was.
Where?
Doesn't she have an interaction with Samuel in where she is in the books?
I think it might have been like quick,
No, it
but
was a really quick
yeah,
interaction, but she defended him when they were on the trip to take Maester Aemon,
yeah.
and now he's dead, so that
They could still
connection isn't going to happen.
they could still send him question mark when John gets back. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know where they're going with some stuff and other stuff. They're pushing way too far. Like the whole Tyrion being at Marine already.
Yeah.
I don't like that. You lose a lot of.
The fact that they don't have they're not doing the thing where with the Lord of Bones.
Yeah, that's actually my next thing. The death of the Lord of Bones actually pissed me off because I didn't know. Spoiler alert from the books. What's his name? The King Beyond the Wall.
Mance Raider.
Mance Raider. Thank you. I was gonna say Mace Tyrell, and I was like, that's not right. Damn it. Too many M names. Mance Raider isn't dead in the books. They burn the Lord of Bones, making him look like Mance Raider, and Mance is looking like the Lord of Bones. So for them
With
to
the special red
medallion
red medallion thing from Melisandre.
yeah, and the death of Lord of Bones for a cheap joke was kind of like, oh, meh.
Right. And I was wondering where they were going to go with it. And it's like, but they've also they've taken out Val,
Yeah,
who is Mance Raider's wife or
wife.
woman with a baby. So that they've taken out the whole
Like
again
reason to get like
book spoilers here. They've taken out the whole like Gilly's baby being swapped with Val's baby and the whole like royal bloodline thing. So there's really no reason for Sam and Gilly to go anywhere now.
other than for Sam to become the new, Maester.
The Maester.
Yeah, but that's yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So why would they do that?
Yeah.
Then they would go without a Maester until he got his chain.
Yeah, yeah. Um. Oh, I was happy to see 1-1, the giant.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yes.
like, oh, is that 1-1? Except I called him 1-2 because I thought that's what like he started to say. Didn't he start to say 1-2 at the end? I don't remember.
I don't know.
But I was like, oh, 1-1, yay! And then they introduced my new favorite character, Wildling Lady, that I don't know her name.
She does though.
And then I went, oh god, she's my favorite character. She's gonna die. And 15 minutes later, she's fucking dead.
Yeah, but
I killed her.
I love the fact that they brought back the White Walkers. Like,
Yes.
way to raise the stakes. Like, way to raise the fucking stakes because the White Walkers are there and it's like death is imminent. And you went to go recruit all of these people and instead
They're all dead and now
they've been recruited by the Whites / killed by the Whites. So, yeah, fucked.
Yeah,
On now, bitches.
I said,
like,
though John's story is lagging from the books, it's good to see that the overall arc of threat is still being pushed. And I'm sorry, but Game of Thrones outdid Walking Dead.
can I tell you? I don't know if I should talk about this.
What?
Are you familiar with the YouTube channel Game Theory?
Yeah.
Well, they did a thing called Film Theory, and they did one on Game of Thrones, and about how Jon Snow is the center of everything. And the pitch behind it was really impressive, and it really makes me excited because if this is the direction that the TV show is going, it's that there's the whole Jon Snow's heritage, right? Everybody's questioning that. Whether or not he's a Targaryen, blah, blah, blah. It's never been really touched on. But if he is, and he's the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and the title of the series is The Song of Ice and Fire, then Jon Snow, Ice, Stark, who is actually a Targaryen,
Who is fire, yeah.
Fire, the whole thing could be about Jon Snow. Blew my mind. I watched it, blew my mind. And I was like, that would make sense.
It makes so much sense.
My God. Anyways,
Um,
so
yeah,
there's that.
I liked. No, I love that. I love the. I've had that theory since like the get go, going, "Oh, Jon Snow's important," and except for in the books, I
It's
don't
just
know.
like the title, though. Like the title,
Hmm.
though.
Hmm.
I was like, oh my god, it
Um,
could happen.
I'm just curious about what happens in the books, and we won't go into it.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
I liked the Titanic-esque moment with the whites and the walkers and everyone trying to get on the boats.
Yep.
I loved. I had one question. I was like, why was a walker wearing armor if iron and steel doesn't hurt it? Short story. They didn't want to CG that shit.
Oops.
And there's a billion memes on this stuff, and I love them. But the swords, the ice spear hitting the Valyrian steel, going, what? Did you just see that, dude? I totally just saw that. That was a great moment. I loved the. Okay, now here's your question, Jess. Do you think that was the Night's King, or was it the another, or like an other? Because in the books there's whites, Wights, which is zombies. There's the White Walkers, which we know. We don't know about the Night's King in the book, but they have brought up the others. But we don't know who the others are, and since this guy doesn't really look like,
But I think they got rid of the Night's King.
well, I mean, the Night's King was
Isn't
brought
that
up
the
in
isn't that the one that isn't that the one that is no, that's Cold Hands. I'm
Yeah, they
getting
got they got rid of
confused.
Cold Hands. The Night's King isn't in the book yet, but he showed up in like 2 seasons ago with the baby, and everyone's
Oh
like, "Oh my
yes, that
god!"
one.
And everyone's like, "It's the Night's King" because they put it on there. My question is, do you think this guy that was in here, as I call him, Night Maul, because he looks like Darth Maul on ice, do you think this Maul was the Night's King, or was he an other?
I think he was another.
I think he was an other because he doesn't look like they use very practical effects.
He's not a zombie. He has thought.
Well, I mean, the Night's King was a very practical effect thing, and this was very CG, and I didn't know if it was the same guy. They could have, I mean, productions could have changed, blah 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 blah. But I was like,
They just changed the actor again.
fuck it, fuck it.
I
Yeah,
didn't know people paid attention.
there's a billion memes right now going on about this stuff, like your move, bro, and it's like, are you not
Yeah.
entertained? And my favorite one
Are
was
you not entertained?
one of my favorite ones was they used Mr. Freeze ice puns, where he's like, "Hey guys, I heard you had a cool party," and it just shows Jon Snow on the boat going, "Shut up." He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, chill. Ice to see you, Jon Snow."
No. Okay, so what else happened to this episode?
A badass fight scene. That's all.
A badass fight scene. Let me think.
Cersei was in jail.
Cersei's pissed. She's like, so I've got to confess. And like, the guy that's like the maester that doesn't have a chain anymore. What's his name?
I call him Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
At this point,
Well,
he's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's like, things are going well,
Yeah,
but you can't see your son. And it's like, all right, what's the point? This is where I'm gonna put on my like Kraus Wolverine gloves and say, what's the fucking point of this scene? Like, because I
it's
didn't really understand why it's there.
it's there because if you remember, spoiler: Cersei gets out sort of by confessing and having a trial by combat.
Yes.
So and he's saying, hey, you can confess and have a trial by combat because Frankenstein's monster, the giant who we saw
Will
wake
be-
up, will
yeah.
be operational. So that's what I think he's hinting at, saying you can save a little face and get out of here by trial by combat, by saying everything's going great. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I
Nudge,
can't
nudge.
tell you more because Nun Bitch is watching.
What else?
Um,
We saw Stannis is like, it's fucking cold and snowy,
yeah.
but we gotta do this. And then Melisandre pissed him off.
By saying she wants to
She's like-
sacrifice his little girl.
His
Oh my-
daughter, which is funny because we talked about how you won Dad of the Year in the last episode that we did, and then all of a sudden she's like, well, your daughter is of your blood. You should probably sacrifice her. And so I'm wondering if this is going to be the break of Stannis and Melisandre, like their massive breakup, and then what that's that going to look like, or what's Stannis going to do to appease Melisandre so that she will lead them with her magical fire powers and help the snowstorm go away. At
I'm
this point in time, Stannis and his army are just fucked, and they didn't talk about Stannis going to talk to the goat people, or like stuff like that.
or
And
like Davos going off to get further
where
support,
did these people come from?
or
How's he got a fucking army?
yeah, where the fuck is the Greyjoys? Question mark.
They're
I'm
not
wondering.
talking about that yet.
I'm wondering with Stannis if what they're gonna do is have him sort of self-sacrifice himself, and that's slowly how he's gonna kill himself, kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
I'm just
Wait,
wondering, like,
that
if he.
doesn't happen in the books.
No, he does. He's still alive and kicking. But I'm saying, is this gonna be his plot line for this, where he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna sacrifice my daughter. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna use my blood. And Melisandre's like, you can't. And he goes, no, fucking watch me, kind of thing. Where because Stannis
Maybe.
is a goddamn badass. Okay, I was not a
Maybe.
Stannis supporter in the books, but I am a Stannis supporter in the show.
Yeah, because he's like sticking up for what he believes in
What he
and everything.
believes
It's
in.
just, well, here's the other thing. I'm curious with the absence of the Greyjoys and that whole story and everything like that.
Which is a great
Are they
story.
combining? Are they combining? What's her name? Lady Greyjoy, the lady.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's very.
What's her name?
Yeah.
I'm a terrible person. But if they're combining because she was in the book, she was the prisoner of Winterfell,
Yeah.
and now she's not. But they have Sansa.
Yeah, it's like, are they
So
mixing?
are they gonna use her role as I want to see where they go with it. We've got 2 more episodes left.
Well, it's like,
We got 9 and 10.
I wonder if they're mixing, Greyjoy and Jane Poole into Sansa, and
Right, that's what I was.
Mance Raider into Brienne, kind of thing, or
Maybe.
Brienne, where outside force comes in, kind of gets fucked up, kind of thing. I don't know. Um, that's just 2 episodes. We'll probably do the last 2 as a big finale? Question mark for this
I
show.
think that's good.
Yeah, so we'll see you in 2 weeks with the finale. Thank you, Jess, so much for joining.
Yay! Thanks,
Yay!
Bill.
Yeah, it was, again, we like talking about shit because it's
I like
good.
talking about shit and things.
Oh, also,
TV.
book 6, hopefully before season 6.
What?
Yeah, learn more about that on our new show. Our new show, we have the top shelf. It should be filming tomorrow, question mark.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for enjoying us nerding out about Game of Thrones. Say bye, Jess.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.